Welcome to the International Law Association. I'm Jonathan Mance, the chair of the association, and I'm also a Justice of the United Kingdom Supreme Court. The association is a charity set up in 1873 to explore and further international law, both public and private. It has a long and substantial history, but even more importantly, it has a dynamic present and a flourishing programme of current activities. It's represented worldwide by branches, some 52 to date, local, national and regional, and its headquarters are in London. Membership is open to all those with a serious interest in international law, whether or not they are themselves lawyers. Where there is a branch, that is the normal route to joining. Where there is as yet no branch, headquarters membership fills the gap. Individual branches organise their own meetings and work programmes. The British branch, for example, holds a spring conference, recently in Oxford and in London. The ILA itself has at its core some 24 committees and 11 more informal study groups. They are composed of members from all over the world who are proposed by their branches and liaise together remotely as well as by occasional meetings. Each committee or study group selects and examines a particular area of international law where it is perceived that greater clarity or further development is required. Details of the committees and study groups will be found on our website. Committee and study group reports aim to restate the law and make proposals for its rationalisation or improvement, which states could adopt or which could influence either state or court or tribunal practice or jurisprudence. The committees and study groups work in liaison with the ILA's Director of Studies, who is currently Professor Marcel Bruce of Groningen University. Every 2 years they present their work and report to the ILA's biennial conference, where their recommendations are presented, considered and where appropriate voted upon. Our most recent biennial conference, our 76th in our history, was held in Washington in April this year, in conjunction with the American Society of International Law. It lasted a week. Its theme was the effectiveness of international law. The combined meeting is thought to have been the largest ever gathering of international lawyers. The previous biennial conferences were in Sofia in August 2012, in The Hague in 2010, in Rio in 2008, and in Toronto in 2006. Our next biennial conferences will be in South Africa in 2016, in Australia in 2018, and in Japan in 2020. In between biennial conferences, there are regional conferences in, for example, Taipei in 2011, in Cape Sunion in 2013, and in August this year in Lisbon. The biennial and regional conferences are rich and enjoyable occasions. They not only serve to showcase the ILA's work, each has a particular theme and a wealth of additional sessions on topics related to that theme. Postgraduate students can customarily also present their posters displaying current theses. The ILA has initiated a small scholarship fund to support attendance by students and young lawyers at its conferences. Public international law is prominent as never before in the discourse of international relations. Even though there are vehement disagreements about its implications in particular situations, and of course perennial questions about the effectiveness and consistency of its implementation, it does influence the day-to-day decision-making in the chancelleries of the world, and it arises now in litigation not only before international courts, but ever increasingly before domestic courts like my own. Private international law is also highly topical, with the spread of bilateral investment treaties, the continuing popularity of international commercial arbitration, efforts in different parts of the world to develop international civil courts, and even revive moves towards a worldwide civil jurisdiction and judgments convention. It would be a pleasure to welcome you as a member of the ILA and to see you at our conferences. I hope you'll consider joining and contact our headquarters secretariat or one of our local branches with that in view. Thank you very much.